how can you possibly follow up the best game of a generation? Do I even have to say it? Super Mario Galaxy 2, baby. Come on, every single thing about this game is just pure gaming fun, letting the imagination of everyone who plays it run wild. The Galaxy games had such big impact on the gaming landscape, changing the direction of Nintendo itself. And I really want to put you guys in the perspective of Nintendo as a company. Imagine you're this little startup company based in Japan or someplace. You've revolutionized console gaming, practically inventing 3D platforming. And now you've created a smash hit console with the Wii, outselling every other console to ever exist. And now you're the captain of the ship, knowing that the next move you make will have the biggest impact on your company with this unparalleled recognition behind you. And we really have the blessing of hindsight to look back at the Galaxy games in relation to Nintendo's overall history. And truly, this was an inflection point. 64 and Sunshine, while phenomenal games in their own right, had a lot of jank and frustrating levels baked in there. Galaxy was the first 3D Mario that was unapologetically, uncompromisingly, 100% fun from start to finish. And we can see the impact that this had on the company by looking at things like the games that came afterwards. Like, look at Super Mario Odyssey and the popularity of characters like Princess Rosalina. I mean, look, they even chose to make a Super Mario Galaxy movie as the follow-up to the multi-billion-dollar smash hit original animated movie. However, I think the dialogue around this game has really changed despite its undeniable impact. And no, I'm not talking about the original game. I'm talking about what I believe is the unbridled masterpiece that is Super Mario Galaxy 2. While critically acclaimed on release, there was always a lingering conversation about how this was a step down from the original. It didn't capture the imagination in the same way that the original did. Its hub world was laughably empty, and the world map left a lot to be desired. And of course, the most prominent criticism of all, its story was laughably bare bones, and didn't have anything close to the emotional impact of Rosalina's storybook in the original. And believe me, all of these criticisms have only grown over the years, especially with the advent of newer games like Super Mario Odyssey and Bowser's Fury. And after spending upwards of 10 years thinking about this, I finally mustered up the courage to talk about this. And if you'll join me, I want to talk about the beauty that I see in this game. And in this love letter of sorts, I'll defend how even the subtle environmental storytelling in each level leaves such a deep impression with the player. Such impressions that have lasted for me for over a decade. So go grab a bowl of Super Mario mac and cheese, grab a chair, get started on some chores in the background, because this is going to be a long video, baby. I'm the Malmadius, and this is a massive retrospective of Super Mario Galaxy 2. Now, just to be upfront, I'll be playing most of this on the Nintendo Switch remaster, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about the original release of the game on the Wii. I just don't have a Wii or Nintendo Switch 2 on me right now to record on those games. But this brings me to my first point. A big missed opportunity on the Nintendo Switch remake is this opening menu screen. Now, I've got these memories seared in the back of my mind when I would sneak downstairs to try to play some Mario way past my bedtime. And because I was this stupid overexcited kid, I'd forget that when you click on the icon, Mario starts screaming at the top of his lungs. Super Mario Galaxy! Oh my god, how quick I would turn off the TV and run back to my room like nothing happened. Oh man, I love this opening title card. Just the excitement and the energy that it brings. While there is something to be said about how magical the original space intro was, there's something so uplifting about the clouds in this sequel. Just purely serene. And seeing Mario soar through the sky, just that feeling of bliss, you know? But that doesn't mean we've completely eliminated the space theme. As the title screen starts panning across, we get glimpses of some small moons, stars, and planets very similar to Saturn. All of this only adding wonder to this perspective. You can see Mario soaring with the Player 2 Luma flying with him, and even sometimes you'll catch a glimpse of Yoshi, who is the pure selling point and major addition of this new Mario game. I mean, let's just look at the box again. And of course, new to this Nintendo Switch edition has the music collection, which I think is just lovely. We'll talk about music, of course, in more detail, but the music in this game is just... Forgive my French, but the orchestral music in this game is just...
Mamma mia!
Anyway, let's go ahead and get started making a new save file. This is something else that's noticeably removed from the Nintendo Switch edition, which is letting your save icon be your Mii. It's a shame because a lot of people forget that the Miis are actually carried over onto the Switch from the Wii and the Wii U, but are just woefully underutilized, and this would have been a good opportunity to use them. Otherwise, we do have the option of using Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Toad, Princess Peach, Little Luma, and Princess Rosalina, who, ironically enough, barely shows up in this game, with this Easter egg being her first and essentially only face drop throughout our entire adventure. So it's admittedly a little strange why they would even bother including her, but I'll talk more about her when we get there. Anyway, if anyone knows me, you know I gotta go with my boy Luigi. Okay, oh, what's this? Assist mode? No, let's go with classic. Well, there's nothing more to say other than let the space journey begin. And here we go. Oh yeah, the intro. I forgot we were gonna talk about the intro. Well, I know I just said we were gonna keep going, but I just have to stop for 1 second to talk about something important. But to do so, we're gonna have to go back to the first game.
Dear Mario.
In the first Mario Galaxy, we open with the Star Festival, a phenomenon which occurs once every 100 years over the Mushroom Kingdom. And then, all of a sudden, Bowser and his entire armada attack the castle, and it's framed like this very cinematic battle sequence. Now, admittedly, in comparison, this first impression of the sequel seems a lot more subdued and pretty mundane. It's not framed as this big battle for the heart of the princess and the kingdom, but instead of kind of like a storybook. Almost like a story that a mother would read to her children. Huh. So when we start off, we just see this unnamed narrator in blue text saying, "Now let me tell you a new story that also begins with stardust." Shimmering stardust falls on the Mushroom Kingdom once a century. That time had come again. A letter from Princess Peach. Dear Mario, would you like to share some cake while we watch the shooting stars? Meet me at the castle. Peach. We turn the page to the Mushroom Kingdom in the distance. We see a green pipe erupt from the ground, and out comes our hero, iconic Jumpman Mario himself. Man even hit the default pose and everything. The Star Festival had just begun. Toads everywhere were celebrating. Star bits rained down from the sky. And we're in a field where these star bits are raining down. The toads are running all excited. They explain that we can use our cursor to attract star bits to us. Admittedly, this is a lot more sensitive on the Wii than on the Switch, but you can reset the reticle anytime with R. Now, one of the interesting details that goes over most people's heads is the star bits themselves. They are described as the nutrition for growing stars, and Lumas will get excited to eat them for their transformations. But this is actually reinforced through their visual design as well. We wouldn't know this coming from the West, but in Japan, there's a very popular candy called, oh my god, I'm not gonna say this right, Konpeito? Konpito? If you've ever seen that scene in Spirited Away where the soot sprites are eating during their break, that's the same type of candy. Anyway, we keep going towards the castle, and right over this pipe that doesn't do anything. Now, as an aside, this stupid pipe has trolled me so many times in the past when replaying this game. I always try to avoid any mandatory areas that force you forward until I've explored the entirety of a tutorial area, especially one that will never appear again in the game. So, I would always jump over this stupid pipe and go to the right, thinking there's a secret over there. And then when the page turns and I realize I've made a mistake, I'm just left wondering where that pipe would have gone. And I swear I've done this every single time I've played this stupid game. So now I finally jump on the pipe and try to go down, and of course, it's the literal only pipe in the game that doesn't do anything. Every other pipe, when you touch its surface, will force you down it. And meanwhile, this is literally the only pipe that doesn't go anywhere. Anyway, we turn the page and see something in the bushes. It's not doing anything. What is it? Whoa! All of a sudden it starts talking in Spanish or something. The strange fellow seems confused. Was he lost? He seemed to take a shine to Mario. Mario's cap filled with warmth as he felt this new power surging through him. Whoa, little Luma, I'd be real careful if I were you. Mario doesn't have the best track record when keeping his hat safe, if you know what I'm saying. Then the Luma slowly transitions from that weird language to English, telling Mario he can shake to spin. And just to bring this home, we have some crystals we can't cross without spinning and breaking it. I mean, this guy seems impressed too. And then we see this mechanic expanded on further with more crystals. This lets us know that this will be our primary attack. In the original game, you would shake your Wii remote to spin. And in the remake, they now give us the option to press Y or shake the controller. I mean, it's really good to have the option, especially now that you can play handheld on the Switch, because shaking a handheld Switch just feels awful. But, I mean, come on. I've been doing the classic control scheme for years. I can't just switch to pressing Y. Shaking is just so classic. But do me a favor, call me out though if you ever notice me spinning without shaking the controller. Anyway, for these next set of crystals, most players will end up just jumping and spinning, and in doing so, they'll notice that the spin doubles as an extra height boost. As usual, Nintendo excels with these tutorials, presenting something and expanding on it over and over. And if only they could keep this up throughout the entire game, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. This red toad says the princess is in the castle up ahead. Next, we see a Luma trapped in the crystal in front of the castle steps. What's this? Was this one of the fellow's friends? It just seems as confused as we are, asking where am I? We're welcomed into the castle by the yellow toad, and then we turn the page. All of a sudden, we're able to control in 3D as we continue down the main road towards the castle. This newly found freedom of movement is paired with an ambiance shift, first noticeable by a change in the music to be much more sinister. As we continue to move, all of a sudden another crystal falls from the sky, containing another Luma. When we free it, it asks, "What's that scary sound?" You focus on that sound and hear something in the distance, and we notice the camera intermittently shaking. And as the camera begins to pan out, we see the absolute beast that is Bowser in this game. He's marching in front of the castle, purple magic spewing behind him. The residents seem to realize what's happening. One toad screaming out his name. Another Luma falling in a crystal meteorite yells out that there's a monster, and a red toad wails out that the sky itself is falling. You may have noticed that when Bowser roars out, it's followed by a flurry of falling meteorites, almost as if his scream is so powerful that it sends shockwaves throughout the atmosphere. You're too late, Mario. The power of the stars is already mine. And look what else I've got.
Help me!
I'm huge. Even scarier up close, huh?
Mario!
Maybe I'll have Peach bake me something for once. I sure could go for a galaxy-sized slice of cake right now. I'm way too huge for this puny planet. I deserve an empire that's more me-size, and I'll put it in the center of the universe. Have fun with your stupid mushrooms. And just as quickly as he appeared, in a bloom of purple magic, he disappears. The sky grows clear. All that's left is the rubble from his attack. Some meteorites still smoking from impact. The toad still shook from the attack. And we can see someone yelling out our name in the distance. But before then, you can explore this little corridor in front of the Mushroom Kingdom. There's a bench, a flag, a few trees you can climb up on. No matter how hard I tried, you can't get past this wall to the moat. Anyway, let's make our way up to these two Lumas. Mario, where did that monster come from? He took your princess to the center of the universe. You must hurry to save her. All of a sudden, out pops that pale guy from our hat. Oh, Master Luma. Young Master Luma, did you get thrown overboard too? Good thing you're safe. I see, so you're going to stay in Mario's cap. Well, that should be safe for now. But Mario, you have other things to worry about, like saving the princess. But how? I know. With young Master Luma's help, you can use the power of the stars. And we Lumas can help a little too. As a thanks for saving our friends, we'll send you into space to get that monster. Now, let's go after them. So we see the Luma transform into a warp star. And even more interesting, it's still able to talk to Mario despite no longer appearing sentient. This is something I'm going to talk a lot more about later, you know, the ethical ramifications of transforming a thinking, feeling creature into just like an object. But for now, let's just say this opens a big can of worms about these Lumas. Okay, so here we go with the first level of the game, Pee-wee Piranha's Temper Tantrum. Now, I know we're already like 15 minutes into this retrospective and we're still not even through the tutorial level, but I just want to make a quick comment about this level select screen. I love the backdrop of the stars in the sky and the distance, really emphasizing that sense of wonder. And right here in the middle, we have our next objective, transparent in full anticipation. And once you select it, everything starts spinning, almost like it's launching you right into that adventure. Anyway, it's time to get started. So that Luma ended up launching us all the way to the first level. Despite being flung into orbit head first, he manages to do an acrobatic flip into a perfect landing. Is all he says. Our power stars, they're gone. Some gigantic monster stole them. If you're going after that monster, you might see our power stars out there too. Please bring our power stars back. We Lumas will help you along your way. And here it is, ready to begin this new adventure. This first planet that we're on looks like it's at Yoshi's house. The door has his emblem on it and the sign says, "Hello friend, please go around back, Yoshi." And here's the first enemy of the game, a Goombo. These things are not as strong as a normal Goomba and can be killed with either a normal spin attack or a ground pound. I myself always go through this game doing as many ground pounds as I can because that gives you an extra coin. And you'll notice throughout this playthrough, I prefer hunting for coins over pure star bits just out of pure habit from playing this game so often. But we'll get to that too. Now you're actually supposed to go through the warp pipes to go to the other side of the planet, and from there you're able to unlock an opening where you can get up to the Lumas on top of Yoshi's house. But I mean, Yoshi's house isn't that tall, so with a well-timed jump, a wall jump, and a shake, you'll be able to get on the roof no problem, skipping that entire part of the level. But if we go through the level as intended, we go to the other side with traditional Goombas and these stupid signs. Remember when I was just talking about how that initial tutorial level used level design to naturally guide you through some interesting gameplay conclusions? Well, this thing just completely disregards any of that and just shows you how to play the level yourself. And what's really annoying about these stupid replays is that they will intentionally skip getting coins and star bits. Now, originally, I maybe thought this was because of something to do with the coin counter, unable to differentiate between the tutorial Mario and the player Mario. But no, we have the same amount of coins before and after this cutscene, despite tutorial Mario picking one up, so I don't know why they made him that annoying. Anyway, the Goombas here are simple enough, can be defeated by a simple ground pound, or if you spin, they become dazed and then you can run up to them and kick them. On top of the hill, you see a crystal, and when broken, it frees a trapped Luma. Now, before we keep going, this level does something beautiful that really highlights why I believe so many people are so engrossed, even to this day, with the Mario Galaxy games. In the distance, you can see the different planets that we'll eventually reach. And you can see them in these strange orientations that we won't actually see when we're up close and personal on them. Remember when I was talking to you about that sense of imagination at the level select screen? Well, this just continues probing that imagination. And when you realize that each of these planets you can eventually land on, it just makes you wonder about the other things that you see in these skyboxes. I mean, of course, most of it never ends up being playable, but it's that beautiful art seamlessly blending with the gameplay that makes you just sit back and wonder. And keep this idea in mind later on, because there are some other environments that truly make me just stop and think in awe. Anyways, let's see what this guy has to say.
Whew, you saved me, but that monster got away.
There are some coins under him encouraging you to jump through to the other side, which gently introduces you to the whole gravity mechanic, which is the staple of the Galaxy games. You can jump through the other side where all of a sudden the path is opened up to us and we can see the Luma who can help us.
The other Lumas told me about you. Thank you for helping us. I'm gonna transform into a launch star. Come over and fly.
I love the launch star mechanic. It's the perfect intermission between different set pieces as you soar through the sky. And you spin to activate it, almost like charging it up before it launches you. There are even some star bits you can collect while flying. As a kid, I thought just breaking these meteorites added all the star bits to your total. But no, you actually have to point the cursor to the screen to collect them. I mean, just a fun little goofy thing to do while you continue forward. Now, of course, you can jump up the boring way with this stupid Luma, or you can do it the manly way by jumping straight up here. Look, there's even these cute little music note mini-games that appear in these levels. And if you collect them, you'll get rewarded with some 1-ups. I mean, this is an easy one, all it plays is a simple scale as you collect them. Don't worry about 1-ups, by the way. It's very easy to casually get the maximum amount of lives while doing just a normal run-through during the game. There's also these fun little battle arenas where if you can quickly defeat all the enemies in the sub-area, you'll get awarded with 3 more 1-ups. This one's pretty simple with just these Otumbas. Atumbas? Because you've got this invisibility star here. But even without the star, they're defeated by a simple bounce or even just 1 spin attack. They do get really annoying though, because their spit attack is so accurate for no reason. But we'll get to that more later too, with their different variations. Anyway, we keep on going up to the tower to this launch star, and we get to these mini planetoids. These offer a beautiful tutorial on how the gravity mechanic works in much more detail. You notice the different planets will pull you into their orbits as you jump into them, and you can manipulate how far Mario ends up jumping based on the trajectory. And you'll quickly notice how annoying it is to adjust the angle of how you're moving when trying to grab one extra coin. Mario's movement kind of locks onto a particular movement as he's rotating out of view, and it's very difficult to turn him, barring just stopping completely and readjusting from there. And then we get to this hollowed out space station. And one thing I've always loved is that you can jump between these two moving structures with a well-timed long jump, even despite them being rotating on opposite sides of their orbit from each other. And on the second set of rotating objects, we see our first comet medal. Collect them to make comets appear. Here we have another Luma transform into a launch star, but before he goes ahead, she tells us that there's a monster up ahead. As we fly, the camera pans onto the boss arena before we land onto one last planet before that boss. This one's pretty straightforward. There's a super health mushroom that increases your maximum health to 6. You go over to the other side of the platform and it's a beautiful realization. There's some nice grass plains, which makes you realize that you landed on the dirt underside. It really makes you start questioning your orientation as you continue going through this game. Okay, let's nab that secret 1-up and jump straight to the warp star. We crack the egg, break its exterior, and out comes Pee-wee Piranha. Now, Pee-wee just kind of chases you until he gets bored, but once he tracks you down again, he chases you until his leaves start to vibrate. Almost like he's honing in on exactly where you are before he pounces. And all you have to do is hit the shell until it cracks completely, and then hit him on his tail one more time. This should bring him to his second phase. It's just as easy as the first, except his window of vulnerability is just a little shorter, and he'll pounce on you twice instead of just once. Okay, let's make easy work of him. After you defeat him, he loses his flowers, turns this sickly pink color before exploding completely. And out comes the Power Star. Now, barring the fact that we just kind of murdered an infant, I love how the presence of the Power Star changes the entire ambiance. It plays a beautiful jingle, and then the rest of the time that you're on that planet, until the time when you grab it, it'll play this really beautiful theme. It's kind of like that musical resolution of the level. Interestingly, all of the other planets are still loaded in at this point. So if you skipped breaking that crystal on the first planet and jumped directly onto Yoshi's house without freeing the Luma, you can still see that crystal in the distance. Anyways, let's grab this star. I don't know why, but for some reason I always like to grab the stars from above instead of jumping straight into them. I don't know, I guess it's like that extra little flourish. Okay, we collect the star, we make it onto this strange planet. By the way, just remember, I'm taking everything in again for these retrospectives, so just ignore how long it takes me to get through each of these levels. We land on this strange planet, meteor debris in several places, and a small platform where it seems to have once been some type of broken mechanism, you know, some boards and a steering wheel. So then this purple fat guy starts talking to us.
So you're this Mario my little Lumas won't stop blabbering about, am I right? Sorry to hear about the excitement you had with that monster down in the Mushroom Kingdom. I sure appreciate you bringing us this Power Star, though. We need as many of these as we can get. The name is Lubba, by the way. I'm the head honcho of this Luma crew. See if you believe it or not, we're on a spaceship right now. Took some real elbow grease to convert this little planetoid into a ship, but we Lumas pulled it off. May not look like much, but it's home. Truth be told, the ship... she's not in such hot shape right now. We ran into that monster too. He blasted us with meteors, and some of my crew were thrown overboard. So that monster kidnapped your princess, eh? That's cold. Deep space cold, if you ask me. Do you know what else is cold? That monster stealing every last one of our power stars. See, that's our fuel. Our spaceship runs on energy from stars. Without that, we're stranded here. Ayo! Is that young Master Luma? It is, isn't it? Wow. Wait, if you have the trust of young Master Luma... You say I might have a little proposition for you. Hear me out now. Your special someone got kidnapped and you want to save her, am I right? I always love these stupid options right here. What's the difference between Mario saying that's right or yes? Like, literally none of it matters, but for some reason I like choosing these options. Like, in my head, he sounds very formal responding, that's right. Very business relationship type, you know? And we need to fuel our ship. Now, if you think you can get some of our stars back for us, I'd be willing to make this ship your very own for a bit. That's a fair exchange, am I right, Mario? That's right. Alright, it's a deal. Okay, gang, let's get cracking, yeah? I want everything spaceship shape. Lubba jumps up with the power star. All the Lumas scream and the screen grows a bright white. Lubba's crew rebuilt a spaceship to look just like Mario. Well, what do you think? Nice spaceship, yeah? More like a face ship, har har. Well, at least you'll never lose it in a parking lot, am I right? Har har. So what's next? Don't look at me. This shape has your face on it, not mine. The decision is yours. Feel free to explore Starship Mario or take the helm if you're ready to ship out. It's your call, Captain. If you talk to Lubba again, he just encourages you to set sail.
Now, even though this was one of my favorite parts of the game growing up, this is still a big point of contention among the Mario community. And I think it's because people will say the Spaceship Mario is not nearly as good as a hub world as the Comet Observatory from the original game. And yeah, it's true, you can't pick the levels directly from the hub world like in the original. However, come on, guys. It's an entire planet shaped like your face that you can drive. How cool is that? And we'll keep exploring as the game goes on. But just for right now, let's check out what Spaceship Mario has to offer.
This blue Luma explains to you that you can quit and save the game at any time.
And here's a cool little gimmick. If you time it just right, you can jump onto the exhaust chimney and go down like a warp pipe. All of a sudden you find yourself inside the engine room with a beautiful blue glowing nuclear reactor shining down. Of course, there's also this lovely telescope on the side reinforcing that space motif. There's a Luma here who explains that his job is to take energy from each star and convert it into fuel. We'll be coming back a few times during the playthrough, so let's just keep going for now. When we leave the engine room, we come out of a door at the base of Spaceship's hat. At the very bottom, there's a lovely garden and a pond. I've always loved walking through the stream as a kid, just seeing the water glisten, and I love that sound design. There's a few signs on Spaceship Mario. This one explains how to do a triple jump, another one talking about a ground pound, there's one more here talking about how to do the wall jump technique. Let's see the other members of the Luma crew here. Let's see, there's this yellow one here who explains to you you can use the cursor to shoot star bits at enemies. Now, as I mentioned before, the star bits are modeled after Japanese candies. So if you point them at Lumas, they're happy because you're giving them a nice snack, which is a really cute touch. This blue guy here explains that coins can restore health, and stomping on most of the enemies in the game will give you a coin if you're in a pinch. Oh man, check it out, there's this red guy here. Let's see what he has to say. What are you lollygagging around for? Go get those power stars. Oh my god, bro, I just started. What's with this attitude? Like, relax, I'm going. Let's see if he ever lets up. Now, for right now, Spaceship Mario is a little bit bare bones. So before we set sail, I just want to acknowledge how calm and relaxing this spaceship is. We're still in World 1 right now, about to embark on our adventure, and there's this beautiful blue sky. There's a flock of seagulls flying around. It's really relaxing. Now, this spaceship is kind of modeled after both a spaceship, of course, and a traditional pirate ship based on the wheel and the way the helm looks. So this flock of seagulls flying around tends to reinforce that idea. You can imagine many a ship lost at sea. The sound of birds offers an intense relief, indicating land nearby for those travelers. And the idea of them following you along your ship, oh, it invokes such powerful emotions. I mean, it's hard for even a blabbermouth like me to properly convey. Albeit to say, I just love this vibe. But anyway, if I keep going on like this retrospective's gonna be hours long. So let's just go ahead, grab the wheel, and start this journey to rescue the princess. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is part 1 of a very long retrospective, so subscribe to make sure you don't miss the next one. Please check out my main channel if you haven't already. I want to apologize to Grian because we've run out of time for this episode. I'll try to have him on next time. But until then, I'm the Malmadius, and as always, have a great day and make it a great day for someone else. Take care, everybody.